what's up everyone? Welcome to my review for Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. And of course this is a sequel to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, what was it called? Dirty Deeds in the Dunder Chief? I don't know. Dunder Thief? Or Lightning Thief, there you go. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. There you go, I got it. This is the sequel to that, and I never saw that film, so me seeing this, kind of weird, right? Well, nowadays I watch anything. So of course I saw this without having to see the first one. I'll tell you right now, I completely understood what was going on in this, so you don't need to worry about it. But I wasn't really looking forward to it, even though the trailer itself had some really cool, cool little special effects and action, and it had Nathan Fillion. Perfect for me, man. I love Nathan Fillion. So, what did I think of Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters? Let's talk about the story. Okay, remember when I said I understand the story even though I didn't see the first film? Well, I do. It's just I'm having a hard time explaining it. So, I'm sorry if I don't do it justice, but I'll try my best. The story here follows the titular character, Percy Jackson, played by Logan Lerman, who is a demigod, which means he's half human and half god, and that god portion is Poseidon. His father is the god of H2O, no, the seas, whatever, and the god of water. That's completely wrong. So anyway, the seas, whatever, water, it doesn't matter. Anyway, Percy Jackson is a demigod. He lives in a camp for demigods, which this camp is protected by this big bubble shield, and the shield is made by a tree, which used to be a girl, but she died, and Zeus decided, you know what, this girl died, she helped out a lot of people, I'm gonna do the demigods a solid. I'm gonna go make this girl who died a tree, and she's gonna be a big shield for everybody to live in who is a demigod, and everybody who isn't a demigod can't come in. So, sorry, you can't come in if you're not a demigod. No, no, no. So, that's why the shield's there. And of course, the shield gets poisoned and starts to die, which I don't understand why nobody didn't do that earlier. I don't know. Just poison it. Just poof. Poison dart, dead, which I don't think that works. But anyway, it's starting to die, and of course, Percy Jackson's like, oh man, I should do something. And then they find out quickly that there is something that they can do. They can go get the Golden Fleece, which is a magical item that brings anything back to dead, which it's touching, of course. And they get the Golden Fleece, and the movie ends. The end. There you go. No, they have to go get the Golden Fleece, which is in the Sea of Monsters. There you go. There is a Sea of Monsters. And they have to cross the Sea of Monsters, evade all two of the monsters that are in there, or actually I should say one, which I'll get to that in a second. But they have to go and get the Golden Fleece, bring it back, and have to fight off enemies and bad guys and some old adversaries from the first film. The story itself is okay. It's formulaic. You know where it's gonna go. It's predictable. I can say this all the time. It is. You know where it's gonna go. You know every beat that it's gonna take. It's just a journey going to the exact same destination we've been to in a million of movies before. Million of movies, yeah, that makes sense. But you know where it's gonna go. But the thing is that if you are a big fan of the books, you don't care about the journey itself. You care about the characters, right? The characters are great. No. I do not like the characters in this film. Now, I will admit, I do actually like the main character, which is good. Percy Jackson, I like him in this film. I thought Logan Lerman did a good job. He has some charisma at times. But then, there's a lot of parts where, even though it's called Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters, there's two lies in this. You barely get any Percy Jackson, in my opinion. He's there, but most of the time, it's other characters getting the spotlight to be either funny or be badass or whatever. And it's just kind of disappointing in a way. I mean, I wasn't looking forward to this, but I like that guy. I like Logan Lerman, and I wanted to see him just show how he could be a good actor and maybe be a badass. And even though there's times where he does do something badass, it's mostly like, I'll throw a sword, I won. Or, hey, I'll do this with the sword. I cut him, I'm done. There you go, I win. And it's just I just didn't feel like he was a badass. I like him as an actor, I like his character for the most part, but he's not there for too much, and I don't feel like he's like the main character at all, even though it's called Percy Jackson. All the other characters I really don't like. The only other ones I do like are because the actors. I like Stanley Tucci, even though he always plays the character that's a douchebag, but he's funny. And Nathan Fillion, who is in this if you just watch the trailer, you see that scene? That's the entire scene he's in. He never comes back after that. He's in that scene, it's a little bit longer, and to be honest, that scene is almost ruined because they have to have these two comedic snakes that are just not funny. Yes, that's right. There's two snakes that are supposed to be funny. This is representing the snakes. They're supposed to be funny, but they're not, okay? And I know this is for kids, but they're not funny. They're so stereotypical, and they're not funny. Alright, all the characters that aren't Percy Jackson or Nathan Fillion or Stanley Tucci are just not likable at all. There's one girl in this film I cannot stand. I can't remember her name, but she is mean. She's a meanie, and I don't like her. I hate her. Hate her. But I don't like her. She is an unlikable character, and everybody else is either dumb or just there. I just don't care. So the story here is okay, but the characters themselves are just not that great or fulfilling. I didn't care. And you know what's going to happen, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, there you go. There's a story, there's the acting. Didn't really care for any of it. And the writing itself isn't great either because all of the jokes that they present fail horribly unless it's from Stanley Tucci or Nathan Fillion. Thank you, you two. You made me chuckle a couple times. That's it. That's all you got for me. Oh boy. Oh, also, Nathan Fillion makes a Firefly joke, which I thought was actually kind of funny. But can the special effects and action save this film from total mediocrity? Kinda, a little bit, because the special effects, while not the best out there, they're definitely not the most realistic, but you would expect that from a children's fantasy film like this. They're pretty good for the most part. It's actually fun to see a special effect once in a while, which they definitely show you a lot of special effects. There's times where they can be kind of mediocre or even close to bad. Not, I wouldn't even say bad, but you know, like, oh wow, that was a drop in quality. But there is a lot of really cool special effects with some of the creatures, the way they look. There is one character who is a Cyclops who I can't stand in this film because he's supposed to be the fun, stupid sidekick. Oh, I'm so dumb, but you love me because I'm dumb, I guess, who cracks jokes, which are the cheesiest, obvious jokes. See, like, 5-year-olds would make these jokes and probably think they're not funny. But he's supposed to be the lovable guy. But I will have to admit, even though I didn't like his character, there's a lot of time where you see him with his one eye because he's a Cyclops. And they put a lot of special effects into his face just to have one eye. I mean, sometimes they do cover it with sunglasses or whatever. But there is a lot of times where you just see him with one eye. And I thought that was kind of impressive. The action itself, not the best here, definitely not. But, you know, there is a lot of it. And it is energetic for the most part. They always try to throw something new at you, like a big sea creature. Or even in the beginning, there's a whole, like, I guess, like a, I don't even know what it was, like a demigod game in the beginning. Which is kind of weird. It's like a... what the hell is that called? American Gladiator in a way, in the beginning, and I thought that was even fun. Just some set pieces are actually entertaining. But the thing that I hated in this film, it's called Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. There is a thing called the Sea of Monsters. It's the Bermuda Triangle. There is one sea monster. There's one. There's two if you count the thing that helps them halfway through the film, but they don't fight that. That helps them. There's one sea monster. One in this film. And it's cool. It's like a big kraken thing. You see it in the trailer. And I was wondering why you don't see any other sea monsters in the trailer. Good reason. Because there's none. There's one sea monster. You see one, which is cool, I'll admit, but one. It's called Sea of Monsters. I want to see more monsters. No, I'm serious. I want to see more monsters, and I didn't get that. I didn't even get more Nathan Fillion. So you know what? Overall, I thought the action itself fun enough for the most part. They always try to throw something new at you. You know, not sea monster wise, but you know, something new. The special effects themselves are pretty good, but I really didn't care for the story or the characters at all. The writing here is just piss poor. It's not funny at all, not clever. It's generic. So I'm really at a mix here. I kind of like the action, like the special effects, but I really don't like the story, the characters, or definitely not the writing. So I'm gonna give this film, I have to give it a 19 out of a 40 because it made me mad at parts. I really did. And when it was over, I was like, good, done, out of here. See you later. Done. Percy Jackson. I ain't gonna see you again. Hopefully, I won't have to see a third film. So, there you go. There's my review. Not the most positive one. Thank you, and goodbye.